Oh my god, that was wonderful. Can we get a round of applause? That was just...
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Amazing.
That was beautiful.
Oh
Alright.
my god.
Welcome everybody to Free to Play podcast number 3. I am Pawz, leader of Free to Play CC. Freckle.
Hi, I'm Freckled Kid, currently rank 1, and then the recent owner of the billion-dollar company Free2Play.wiki.
Whoa.
I'm Bargan, the famous flutist.
I'm a keyboard monkey. I'm not sure why I'm here. Name's Unky.
My name is
Play
Terrathrone.
wiki stuff.
Damn it.
Restart. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Go ahead.
I am Terrathrone, free to play Ultimate Iron Man.
I'm Fox. That's it.
And down there, that's Snooze. He doesn't talk much.
Nope. Alright. What is everyone currently working towards? Can be long-term, short-term, or non-skilling related. He's not. He's
Here's
typing.
Tommy.
Oh, he can't hear us. Okay. Let's move on, Bargan.
All right, so short term, I'm working on rune crafting. I'm gonna get 92, and then I'm gonna go AFK melees. But long term, I'm working on maxing free to play, and nothing non-skilling related. So, Freckles.
Nothing non-skilling related.
Yeah, it's all skills.
All right, cool. That sounds good. What happened there?
Don't know. Did you catch the question?
No, I didn't. Are we on the first question?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can answer
Alright.
now, and then I'll
yeah.
go.
If you want.
Sweet, sounds good. Basically, I'm working on 200 mil Smith on my free-to-play reg and continue being retired on the free-to-play Iron Man, aka AFKUs. I get.
Nice. Anything outside of Escape?
Free-to-play wiki, software engineering stuff, same old stuff.
Nice. I'm currently crafting or doing melee if I'm too busy to craft, and completing school. That's pretty much it.
I'm gonna max my pay to play Iron Man, my free to play Iron Man, eventually, and I don't do anything IRL, so
I am training strength on overseas, getting 99 in like the next year sometime maybe. And that's pretty much it.
Short term, I'm working on. Actually, I'm only 200k XP off, 1k mining EHP. It's been kind of a short term goal for me. Another 2,000 hours to go. Obviously, long term 200 mil mining. And other than that, I guess I'm doing some running and school stuff. So, yeah.
Like RC running?
Ooh,
No, agility, dude.
in real life,
Mhm.
Oh,
RC running.
very
Yeah.
well.
What would real life rune crafting be? Side question. Any ideas?
Waiting for a genie to pop up.
That's a good point. Yeah. All right.
smashing a bunch of rocks together.
Yeah. Like throwing them at the water. Maybe make some water runes.
It'd be like the intro of the Holy Grail, just like
That's
clicking the
like
coconuts
chemists,
together.
kind of. Chemists kind of do shit like that. Alchemy, right?
Do they?
Yeah, I guess.
What?
Close to herb lore though.
Yeah.
All right. Question for Tommy: how is free-to-play wiki coming? Any updates the free-to-play community will be looking forward to? And for the rest of us, anything you'd like to see on FTP Wiki?
Very good question. As for major updates, I'm still working on the EHP updates and bonus XP still. It's kind of undefined, really, and it's really complicated, especially for free-to-play Ironman. There's issues at CML and the other algorithms they haven't really seen before, such as specifically like multiple skills, giving multiple bonus XPs to 1 or 2 different skills for free-to-play Ironman, that being combats, giving prayer, and crafting. There's more in-depth explanation of this crap on the Reddit, so I won't repeat that here. After that kind of stuff, be working on the free-to-play wiki specific rankings, gains comparisons, and other calculator fixes and improvements. Aside from that, there's going to be a lot of like behind-the-scenes plans, just like refactoring the code to be cleaner and more efficient. And I'll probably be open sourcing everything and making guides on setup and contribution soon. I've received quite a few looking to volunteer, and I greatly appreciate all of it. So hopefully we'll see more people contributing. For end users, this look like the 250 features and site improvement in less time. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm one of the people who's sort of interested in contributing, but I was too lazy to figure out how to get the site to run. But yeah, if you make guides for like how to get it set up, that'd be sick. And I'd probably be down to like mess around with it a little bit.
Soon. I'll probably move the GitHub over to a public repository and release like some readmes and contribution guides.
Nice,
Hopefully
that'd be awesome.
Oh, it's my turn, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else that I'd like you to add at the moment, but I really liked the non-combat EHP high scores. I didn't even like think about that. It's very more accurate. What's that?
Dan's potato has been like bugging me for like level 3 ultimate like free to play EHP, and just like fuck, like what can I do to negate like having some like crazy stupid restricted accounts, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought that would satisfy him.
Yeah, at what point is it too far?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I really
Saying
like that.
Pawz?
What did I say? Uh-oh. I don't think he can hear us. Anyway, yeah, I think it's a nice little way of comparing the real skillers of free-to-play rather than those who just AFK combat all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I think for myself, the biggest thing that I'd like is just like proper rank. So when you actually like look somebody up on the high scores, I don't want to know their their rank overall on the high scores. I want to know their rank on free-to-play wiki, so that it makes it a lot easier for us to give people ranks in the clan, because then we can just filter off the top 300 or whatever, or just look somebody up and know exactly what rank they're supposed to be given.
Yeah, that's basically like exactly the next thing that I'll be working on. So hopefully within the month as well.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
I don't have anything that comes to mind right now, but I've wanted an adventure log for a long time, and I think that would be cool for old school.
What would that consist of?
You know, like, remember from RS3 or whatever it was back then, where it would show like you got this drop from this monster, you got 99 fire making yesterday, you have this many quests done, that sort of stuff. But that would not be possible on free to play wiki. I know that.
Yeah.
But I think that would be decent feature on the actual website.
Oh, like most recent 200 mils and 99s or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be cool too. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, some people have asked for that recent 99s and 200 mils. Definitely would be open to doing that, but that wouldn't be a.
Uh-oh.
I think he's disconnecting again.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? That it's not a priority, but if people want it, it can be a priority.
Okay.
Well,
Hopefully that'll help. I just changed the server for the Discord's location, so
Yeah,
maybe
alright.
you'll have a better connection now.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry about that.
You're good, no problems. Want to go ahead, Fox?
I really like accurate HP. I think it's pretty hard to make accurate HP though. There's so much bank skills and stuff.
Yeah.
I really want, every time I try to go on the current top of records, I always have to open a private web page or whatever because I always get errored. That's been happening for like months.
I think there might be some weird caching issues with the site because like a lot of times it'll cache like what filter settings I have and stuff too, and make it kind of weird to toggle filters.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it's saving the last state, right, Unky?
So, I have heard about that before. I guess basically just sometimes when, like the cache is kind of weird, it might break the site. I'll have to look into that, but definitely I'm not super experienced, so not really sure what's going on there.
Alright, next question. Question for Fox and Aubrey. Since both of you have switched from high-level member skilling to free-to-play Iron Man, any particular reason why you made the switch? Preferences towards free-to-play versus members, and anyone you'd like to see from members join us.
Yeah, basically the reason why I started playing free-to-play, I just really hate Slayer. I've never liked Slayer at all. I really like free-to-play when you just go and kill the same monster over and over. I don't know, I really like that better. Slayer just has way too many things involved. I've just always hated Slayer. And I don't think free-to-play is for everyone either. I think it's really just for a select group of people. I think that's the way it should be. I don't think there should be like everyone playing these kind of account styles. I think the point of it is to be kind of in our own group. I really like that it's a lot more of a tight-knit community. Yeah.
I guess I stopped pay to play just because I thought the updates were really bad and free to play doesn't get as many updates, and also it's just easier to play casually because like if I wanted to start any other pay to play account I'd have to be paying members, and I hardly play enough for it to be worth paying another membership. And I've had this account for a long time, so it just sort of made sense.
Do you still have the cheap membership on your main still going?
Yeah, it's like $6 a month.
Is your dad still paying for it?
No, that was handed over to me when I turned 18.
Oh, okay.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, that's what growing up is like.
It's a milestone.
Membership.
I'm with you on that Slayer, by the way. I
Yeah.
despise Slayer with a passion.
Screw Slayer, we don't need it free to play.
Yeah. The only thing that would be good is that it would make people do less oversys.
Very true.
I would accept if they brought a Slayer type system into the game, but it wasn't linked to a skill.
Yeah.
So like some master in Lumbridge gave you a task to kill 10 of them, and you go back to him and he gives you like 200 feathers or something. 10 of, I don't know.
Some differentiating supplies or whatever.
Maybe like
Yeah.
1,000 noted body talismans? That'd be nice.
No.
Put some body talismans in the game.
It would be very low level entry stuff.
body talisman's just a body talisman, man.
I just don't think that works on the free-to-play because there's so many shit monsters that nobody wants to kill. They'd have to add like a bunch of new monsters. Not worth it.
That's why I feel Slayer would be like the worst skill in free-to-play. You'd have to add so much content to make it viable.
Or they'd have to make like cow fights free-to-play or just stuff like that. Low level like Slayer Tower or something. It's like that kind of stuff.
It would not be a fun day.
And it would like top out at level 20 or something. So you're killing like level 20 monsters until 99.
Yeah.
Yeah, XP per hour would be like 2k.
Yeah. That would be actual hell.
That sounds terrible. It's like agility. Like we don't even have any courses, so if we had something that's even worse than like the starting gnome course or whatever, till like 99, that sounds.
That sounds
So that
amazing.
being like Falador, also a terrible course.
I'd assume they'd go up to Falador, those rooftop courses.
Just FYI,
Yeah, but that course is awful.
this is a future topic
Oh.
already, so.
I haven't done Faldo course in so long, like years, man.
Alright, let's move on to the next question. Have you ever had any RuneScape dreams or nightmares? Accidental membership dreams? Feel free to elaborate. Personally, I have had several accidental membership dreams, which is... I was talking to Akiji about this, and I was like, this would be a good topic. I'm curious if other people have had the same problems. But yeah, I had a dream. This was when I was getting 200 mil fishing, and in the dream I was like really eager to get a fishing pet for some reason. So then I got a bond in this dream, and then I was like, wait, why did I do that? And then I woke up. So yeah.
I don't know if I really have like dreams or nightmares when it comes down to like accidental membership, but like every time that I go to log in, if I type in my password and I almost hit enter, I like freak out. I'm like, whoa, I need to check what world I'm on. just in case it's like a pay to play open weekend or something dumb. So I'm just like, that was the worst time ever for free to play, by the way.
Yeah,
Because just every time you were logging in, you were like scared to play alts during that weekend because you didn't want to accidentally log into a member's world. Mm-hmm. It was absolute hell, so I hope they never do that again.
I haven't had a RuneScape dream or nightmare in probably like 4 years, so not really. But if I'm playing the game and I get a disconnection on the top left, I have a mini heart attack because you get disconnected when you get banned, and that really sucks. So.
bad memories.
PTSD.
Yeah, it's a trigger for him.
I used to have RuneScape dreams. I haven't had one in a while. I've never had anything related to free to play though.
You're not too in deep yet.
Yeah.
Or anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. I don't really have any dreams or like nightmares anymore, but like definitely when like I was playing like 10 hours a day, I'd have like dreams about losing my hardcore and stuff. AFKing fleshies too hard, and like not retaliating, and like just getting hit constantly for like 20 minutes and dying or something. I don't know, stupid crap.
Yeah. I always have dreams about getting Hunter for some reason, like accidentally leveling up Hunter. I do also have dreams like a family member, like my brother or something, like giving me membership for some reason. Like, yeah. I've had those dreams as well.
Alright. As JX continues to push forward with warding, what are your thoughts on this coming into the game and its effects on free-to-play?
I think it's a bad idea. Hope it doesn't pass. Probably will. I haven't heard anything about it in a while, but I don't really stay as in the loop as I used to. But yeah, I think the content itself would be fine, but it's not a good idea as a skill.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything either, so I'm pretty sure they haven't talked about it since RuneFest or whenever they released it.
The reason I added this question was because I watched a Q&A not like somewhat recently, like within the past month probably. And they were talking about it like they're like seriously about to finish it or something like that. They were like giving updates on it and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sounds like they're gonna do it.
I think if they were ever gonna release an update without a poll, that would probably be it.
Probably.
They've put so much time and effort into it.
Yeah, and they've tried for the past like 5 years to get a skill through a poll, and they keep coming up with terrible ideas and not getting them through.
Oh man. Just garbage. Everything. Anyways, I'm done.
I think it just sounds really gross. I don't know. Something about it just seems so like forced and weird. I don't like it. I don't think the game really needs another skill right now. I think it'd end up just being really fast and boring and not interesting at all. So yeah, I really don't like it.
Yeah, it's just literally just gonna be another buyable. Just buy it in the GE and then, you know, finish it. Yeah,
And then it'll be like
it honestly
2K an
seems
hour.
pretty stupid for regs, but for Iron Man specifically, it seems potentially kind of cool for not the like crafting part, that's fucking stupid, but the invention part or whatever, the assembly part, that could be kind of cool to like recycle some of your resources. But that could also be pretty overpowered. We would have to see.
Yeah.
I think it'll turn into rune crafting for Iron Man, because it'll be pretty much useless and super slow. Freckled.
Yeah, thoughts on warding? I don't know. I'm kind of mixed. I don't really like the idea of a new skill coming, especially to free to play, but I also feel like there could be some like really cool things they could do with like rewards and whatnot from it, and I don't know, just some more accessibility to different things in the game as the skill evolves through free to play, because just being able to make some mage gear is not really much for free to play. Like, we don't really use magic for much of anything apart from teleporting around and alching, so, and like superheat. So I don't know like where the gear would even come into like play at all, so I don't see the need for it. I guess PKers like the idea of having better mage gear, but
No, they don't.
I don't think anybody uses mage to PK.
They want PvP to stay exactly how it is.
It's just yeah, like I don't think that it's all that bad that it's all just range 2H kind of PKing right now anyway, so I think that's what people like about free to play PKing, is that it's basic and simple and doesn't change. So I don't know. I think there could be some really cool things that comes with it, but I don't want to see any skill come to free to play.
Alright. Thoughts on Ring of Forging now that it's been released free to play?
So while I am kind of speaking about free to play wiki and HP updates, I did all the calculations, and Ring of Forging officially doesn't affect anybody. So
Really?
like regs don't use it, obviously, and free to play Iron Man and ults already get more than enough nats and laws to do just like 200 mil everything, especially with the telegrab method now. So yeah, it doesn't really affect anybody if you're playing efficiently. That is. But I guess it's like a nice kind of in between for people that don't want to do telegrab. I actually don't have a problem with it.
I'm a regular account. I don't really have anything to say on this. I don't care.
I don't either.
Go ahead, Fox.
I don't. It doesn't really change. I like it. I'm gonna use it. So, yeah. I think telegramming was really boring. So I like it for myself personally, but I don't think it should have been added. And I think the way you get them is kind of dumb. I don't know why you have to buy them.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
it just seems weird, like kind of forced, weird update. Nobody really knew what they were voting for either. It's just like nobody who actually voted for it is gonna use it. I don't know. I just don't like it. But I'm gonna use it, so I guess I like it being in the game.
Yeah, bad update. I mean, it's true that it didn't affect smithing in terms of efficiency, but it's basically just easy scape. Like it made it so people don't have to risk going into the wilderness and like learning how to do that properly, and like don't even have to get laws to train smithing at a really good rate if you're a regular Iron Man. But really, like Ogresses are the thing that ruins smithing, not Ring of Forging, because Ogresses are like what enabled people to get so many runes to actually be able to viably do so much superheating.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess I kind of wanted to add from the last question too, like nothing really is going to be as big as Ogresses, I don't think, like in terms of affecting free-to-play Iron Man specifically. And I guess like regs too for like people that don't play efficiently, people that just want like easy GP per hour on like a combat alt or something.
Yeah, every time I think about Ogresses, I think about how insanely broken they are for free-to-play. I cannot believe those are actually added to free-to-play. They're just so... It's so crazy that they actually added that.
Yeah, they're fucked.
They're completely overpowered.
By far the worst update to free to play.
Yeah.
It's like free to play Zulrah basically.
Yeah, it's insanely dumb.
I guess
Or
in a
like
sense,
guards
but like,
because they're AFK.
yeah, but at the same point, like regs don't really kill ogresses if you're to really put it down that way. But like, I get that like for Iron Men, like there's no point in killing anything but them, so it kind of ruins the diversity of what you could have been doing.
And they're like 4 times as good as the previous monsters.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Anka's
kind of dumb.
RIP.
They also
If you
drop
want-
too much that you don't even end up really using, like deaths and chaoses. They just drop so much random stuff that you don't even really need on an Iron Man.
A billion GP and alkables.
Yeah, it's like, just makes everything that used to be really useful and good just completely useless. You just get so much of it.
Yeah,
I
like
think
they
you-
even drop Limport roots so you don't have to go out of your way to make potions. It's like such a joke.
Wow. Yeah.
Are they noted?
No, they're unnoted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could talk for hours about Ogresses though.
Ogress podcast, anybody?
I'm in. I'd like to spend hours complaining about ogresses.
While killing ogresses.
I think they should just add a rune scimitar to their drop table.
Yeah.
I honestly
Why
agree.
not?
Might as well.
Might as well make them as overpowered as possible.
Might as well. Alright.
The sarcasm is strong.
Yeah,
with this
and they were
podcast.
talking about adding cockroaches on Twitter, was it? Or on one of the podcasts, or not podcasts, Q&As?
What a cockroach do.
Cockroach soldiers?
They were a like pre-EOC update, and the cockroaches. I'm pretty sure they dropped like rune sims.
And 2 H's.
Not 2 H's.
They did.
They
Was
dropped
it- Was it
squares
kites or
and
squares?
No, squares.
Yeah.
Squares and skins.
Yeah. Alright. What are your thoughts on the influx of updates being proposed for free-to-play? And in addition, @GhostBloke asks, do you think free-to-play is getting way too many updates to the point where it doesn't feel like the game it once was? Do we need OSRS? Uh-oh. Tommy needs to be... Hold on.
I'll just go right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I've thought a lot and talked to a lot of people about just like making a new old school RuneScape. Right now the game is not old school anymore. It's way different. They've added too much stuff. They've done way too much quality of life where it's really not at all what it was on release, which is fine, but I think I would rather just play the game how it actually was back then without all the quality of life and new updates that make the game like thousands of times easier, you know? Yeah, that would be really cool if they did that, but they're never gonna do that. It's just a cool thing to think about.
Didn't Bodhi like ask on Twitter for that old school RuneScape?
I don't know.
Thought he did.
He's basically playing an account like that.
Oh,
He's playing a hardcore where he only does 2013 content.
There's still so much quality of life though that you can't actually get around.
Yeah, and like you can't really train Slayer the same way at all.
Yeah.
That's true.
Plus, there's stuff that you just couldn't do back then, like ruin bars, and just so much stuff that just didn't. No, they just couldn't trade that much. There just wasn't that much in the game. The economy was so much different.
Yeah.
Pre-GE as well. Seems like such a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Good days.
yep.
I wish I had played back then.
2013 was like so much fun. 2013 and 2014 were like golden days.
Yeah, it was. I'd love to see old school RS. Like if they just added Iron Man mode and just bug fixes, it would be great.
Yeah, like I think the game is really becoming like hard to recognize, and even free to play is so different than like the classic free to play experience that you kind of expect from an old school RuneScape. And like the interfaces are so different, and there's all these little updates that just really change the gameplay experience quite a bit, in addition to all the gigantic updates that completely change all the meta. And it's just not the same game, and it's unfortunate because like 2005 to 2007 era is the game that I'm most interested in playing. So I'd certainly want to just have like a reboot once again. I just think it's very unlikely that it will happen.
Do you guys remember when Dead Man was first released?
Yeah.
By chance. And there's like 10 Dead Man servers, and they were all full. But then it started to die out, and they just reduced the servers until now we're down to 1, but they're still running it.
Yeah.
Like they could do that with old school RS.
Yeah, exactly.
Start with a bunch of servers and then reduce it, or it'll probably be a reduce until it's just enough servers for that community.
Yeah, that'd be really. Yeah, I would love that.
That's actually a pretty good point, but yeah, I feel like from my standpoint, they should have just left it off at the update to like backwalking. It was basically just like, I guess it's quality of life, or like more of like a bug fix, but anyway, after that they should have just left it. But obviously Jagex is a company and they need to make money, and they need to have some kind of marketing scheme. We might not always agree with the choices they make, but clearly they're making money as a game in general. So I mean, you can't just like release 2007 and then, 5 years down the road expect there still to be as many players playing it as there is now.
Yeah,
So I think they're doing the right thing, and like the game is going to evolve whether we like it or not, and we just gotta suck it up and quit or keep playing.
The game was definitely dying before they put out old God Wars and free to play.
Yeah.
I mean, they got down to like 10K players on a weekend, so.
Yeah. But there was a good little dead point there. So clearly they needed something to revive it, and that's what they did. They decided to actually put a dedicated team towards the game and provide updates. So, I mean, all in all, I'm just happy the game is still here.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah.
Regarding the influx of free-to-play updates, I'm not sure why that's happening, but it seems like it's just a Reddit thing, but or mobile maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. And another thing like that's kind of been talked about on Twitter, I've seen a lot, is how they keep using the word like automatically in their quality of life updates. It's like everything just needs to be as easy as possible. That's just their mindset towards updates, it seems like. So people
Wasn't there like
don't get
10
confused. I guess.
There was like 10 plus automaticallys in the last Q&A.
Yeah.
It was awful. Should this be done automatically? It's like, I don't know. Should we just all run bots now? Like, jeez, this is awful.
Like,
yeah, carry on.
I know like Gingbino used to talk about stuff like this a lot, like how they would make NPCs like stand still so they wouldn't like move all over the place, and it'd be more convenient for people. Like stuff like that is just so stupid. Like I don't know. It would be less convenient, but I feel like I would prefer to play a game that's just more like organic like that, and just completely like, I don't know. There's something about the original old school RuneScape that was just satisfying. Maybe it's just
I actually
nostalgia.
remember thinking it was just so weird that Ging thought that the G shouldn't have been added like years ago. But now I can totally see where he's coming. Like I totally agree with him so much. Now, just he was so correct about so much stuff. I think he's like one of the smartest people who played RuneScape. Like, yeah, but back then I just thought, why? You know, I thought G was a great update.
It's actually funny. I was kind of talking about this with I think it was you, Pawz, earlier in the week or like last week. I was kind of talking about how like a lot of people give Aubrey some crap on Reddit because of the way that he wants to keep the game a certain way, and he'll talk about it on how it is. And it's like the same people that are giving him shit are going to end up being like, oh damn, he was right. Like a couple years down the road when the game turns to a pile of shit. So it's.
I've seen some people say stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yup. Yup.
I don't think it'll get as bad as RS3 though.
Yeah, hope not.
No.
It's gonna become more idle over the time, especially with mobile being out. I'm like, no matter what, they're going to make updates that cater to AFKscape. I think it's just a matter of time. We're seeing it every once in a while, more and more. So
Every once in a while, it feels like every update.
that too.
All right. I'm not sure why this question is here, but thoughts on the return of Disciple and Eerie?
Old news.
Old news.
Pretty cool. Definitely now that they're back, it's kind of perfect timing actually, because like Cold Fingers is up right alongside them, so it's like a kind of pretty close race between the three of them to max levels. That's kind of interesting to see.
Do you know like their time to max, like comparatively?
I
It's
don't,
gotta
but
still
it's
be
up
like
on the
3K
site.
hours or something.
Are they all like around the same-ish?
I think Disciple is still like a fair amount ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very exciting. Very
Yeah,
glad that I get to chat with Disciple in game again sometimes.
Disciple's about 130 some odd hours ahead of Eerie right now.
Oh, that's it?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
very close.
Pays a lot less though.
Yeah, Disciple's a legend. Good to see that the legends still come into the real world again sometimes.
Legends never die.
Except Acid Soul. R.I.P.
I don't want to cry on this podcast.
Yeah, in all honesty, I didn't even know Disciple was back. So
Okay,
that's kind of funny, but that's kind of cool. I mean, it gives some more of the high level Iron Man community a little bit of competition, but yeah, I don't know. When it comes down to it, I mean, the three top are all pretty neck and neck, and seeing as Eerie and Disciple have both burnt out in the past, I can only assume they'll probably do the same again. So, I don't know. Cold Fingers is a pretty consistent player. He doesn't really burn out or take big breaks or anything like that. And seeing as he kind of finished off the prayer grind, I think he's got a lot to back his gains.
Yep.
So if I was a betting man, which I am not, I would put my money on Cold.
Rune crafting is still quite daunting, though.
Indeed.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think he says he can't stand RC, so who knows?
Oh, yeah, didn't he say he like isn't planning to train it unless it gets updated?
For real?
I don't think Cold would stop. I'm pretty sure he's gonna finish off crafting and then Smith and then
Leave it to
probably do
last.
his art.
We all said
RC.
that about Erie.
What about you?
Yeah.
That he never stop or quit.
I mean, anybody can burn out, so
It's true. Except Min will skill.
it's just a matter of like, if you have a history of already burning out and like taking a huge break, you're probably gonna repeat the same action. Because I don't know, you just don't care as much anymore about the grind.
I just hope somebody maxes. I want to see that happen. I think that'll probably make more people want to play free-to-play Iron Man as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be really
news.
cool to see a maxed free-to-play Iron Man. That would just be really cool.
Yeah,
It would be sick.
I found it just cool seeing Cold being level 126 on an Iron Man. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Also, he's like rank 30 prayer for hardcores.
Jeez.
Yeah, that too.
That's pretty insane. He would only need to get like a couple mil more XP and he'd be top 8.
So I didn't really play with Erie, but I love seeing Disciple playing again. Yeah.
Yeah, Disciple is he's playing like a private server RuneScape Classic.
Open RSC.
Yeah, and RC. He misses the good old days.
I played some of that as well. Pretty fun.
In recent times, In recent times, more free-to-play skilling clans have been popping up. What are your thoughts on free-to-play skilling clans and their role as a part of the game? How many do we actually need? Take it away, Bargan.
Oh my gosh. How many do we need? We need one. But it's like impossible because there'd be so many people in that clan and it would be madness all the time.
Yeah.
If people were like actually nice people, then it would work, but that doesn't work because people are garbage. So, thoughts on free-to-play clans? Yeah, that's about it. I think. There aren't any other skilling clans really. It's just free-to-play communities.
Yeah, I guess.
They don't talk about skilling in an efficient sense. It's just here's a method you can try. That's what I did, and that's about it that they talk about is yeah.
Yeah, that's the point I was gonna kind of make. I don't really feel like the clans we're talking about are really skilling clans. They're just like friends chats or just whatever small. Like, I mean, specifically, we're probably talking about like World 427 or something. That's just like a branch of free-to-play Iron Man clan. Someone that got banned, right? They're not really skilling. Like, I don't think it's really a big deal. There's probably like the three main ones. World 385 free to play and free to play Iron Man clan. I think that's fine. They each kind of have like their own little niche.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Like, 385 is like sort of like 385 used to be the only one basically, and it's like kind of fun, but it's just overwhelming with how many like noobs and stuff and like the same questions being asked like a million times. Just a lot of spam. So it makes sense to have like a higher level skilling clan or free-to-play clan that's like more that has like actual requirements and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I think it's pretty good how it is having like around 3 or so.
I think we really need to fucking separate all the aughts from the high level players. Just get all the fucking autists and put them all in the free-to-play Iron Man clan, and then get all like the real players, the real people who actually play the game, and put them all in the free-to-play clan. I'm gonna call this the Great Solution, and that's gonna be in effect immediately. So
Sounds good. I support that.
everybody who isn't in free-to-play clan is a fucking aughts. And that's it. Don't be an aughts.
That's amazing.
I don't know what to say after that.
I am also speechless.
All right. Yeah, you can go ahead, Tommy. Or not.
He already answered it.
Next
Oh,
question.
good. Okay.
All right, I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead, Freckled.
All right, I'm gonna basically just say that I like it how it is. It's kind of the way that the question's worded is it's talking about free-to-play clans. I feel like there's only actually like one free-to-play clan, which is our clan, where the others are just open
Social clans, basically.
for themselves. Yeah, they're just like a social group, right? So it's not really like they have strict requirements to like being there and being a part of the like clan itself. It's more of a community, which is fine. It makes sense to have community chats that people can go to, but when people come in and they end up like PMing me in game being like, why can't I talk in free to play? It's like, because we're a clan and we have requirements. And it really, like, people just don't understand that like perspective a lot of the time. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to see a change to that. I'd like to get more people interested in our clan, but I don't want to like revoke the idea that there is requirements to join,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
we would be the next open community chat.
Yeah, I get asked that a lot, like why we don't allow people to talk. And if we did, we would literally just be W35, and we don't need 2 W35 clans. So yeah, that's why that's the way it is. Yeah. Moving on to Twitter questions. At Tanardino1 asks, opinions on members deciding what content free-to-play gets.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Why is it like this?
Oh. I was like, wait, what's the question?
Are you saying why to the question?
Yeah,
or
I thought he was like, why would you ask this, Tanner?
You wanna
Tommy,
go,
opinions?
He said go ahead. Next person, so you. Freckled.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We don't have say in polls in general, so I kind of get it. But at the same point, I think that polls shouldn't define absolutely everything. And speaking of polls, we actually need to hide the poll results. That'd be great. I think that's probably one of the biggest problems of the poll. Not really that they're polling things that aren't for certain players, but I don't know. I think when it comes to free-to-play content, they should just reach out to the community that actually plays their game in free-to-play, but they also need to reach out to the community in a sense that's like, here are free-to-play players that are purposely not that they're like strictly wanting to just be free-to-play, but they have decided not to get pay-to-play because they don't like what is to offer, and maybe ask them what things those players would want to be able to make more money off those players. Because all in all, it is about getting people into pay-to-play when you really think about it from a marketing situation. So,
Right.
I don't know. I think deciding on what content gets polled, it's more so it needs to come from the entire community and not just Reddit and what's booming on Reddit.
Yeah, I don't think it's really going to be possible for them to differentiate between like free to play and then just like some casuals that think they're free to play or whatever. So I just don't really think it's a good idea to ask the community or ask anybody, period, about what a free to play should get. I don't really know what direction they want in general, but like obviously our opinion is less change the better, and I don't know if the Reddit communities or anybody really thinks about that. It might just be, you know, something we'll have to accept or have to move on.
Yeah, I think it's like obviously not a great thing that the people who are being affected by these updates the most aren't allowed to actually participate in the voting. But that being said, I think that the more important step in the content like coming into the game is things even being pulled in the first place than like whether people are able to vote or not, because most things pass, and if something is never pulled, then it's never going to come into the game. So really Jagex has most of the control, not necessarily so much the players. And I think that they should instead just consult the free-to-play community more than they do right now regarding updates to free-to-play, because they don't really seem to like think much about it, and they mostly just listen to members about free-to-play updates.
Yeah, to touch on that, we did have Aiza come into our Discord,
Yeah.
say hi, and
Not say
that he was
anything else.
interested in getting some feedback from the community on what things we'd like from free-to-play, but that was the only message that was ever sent, and that was the end of that, so...
And now he's not a Gmod.
It seems like that's the amount of care that they actually do have, not to like bash Aiza, because he's a very nice guy, but they don't care about free-to-play, it's not where the money's at. It's basically a trial, right? It's like, hey, try out our game and now pay for it. So...
Not a trial.
I know,
Free-to-play is
we don't
life,
play it
Freckled.
like a trial, but that's kind of where the game is supposed to put. It's supposed to put like the fundamentals of what the game is like, and then here you go. Let's push you from you. But yeah, it would be nice to get some of the mods actually interested in free to play and hear what things we have to come up with, what ideas we have, what things would be nice for the game.
And I'm curious how many like serious free-to-players you guys think there are. Like using just like free-to-play wiki, I can kind of say there's like I think something less than like 400 players with like over 1,000 total. Would you say like that's a pretty good number, like 400 unique people that actually play free-to-play? It seems like a pretty small community, so like
Yeah.
I actually don't feel terrible that they don't spend much resources on us.
Yeah, I wish they would just like not give us any updates.
I agree with that completely.
Same.
Yeah, I'm content with there being absolutely no updates at all, but yeah, inevitably there's going to be updates, so as long as they just don't break the way that the game is, because I feel like one of the like biggest things about free-to-play that like keeps it interesting is that if you were to load into free-to-play and you haven't played the game since like 2006, you could come in and play the game the exact same way that you would have played free-to-play in 2006 or so. So, in that respect, it's kind of just like, cool, I don't know, don't fix what's not broken, I guess.
Don't fundamentally change it.
Yeah.
Like a new skill would change the whole free-to-play game completely, and like raids or something would change it completely.
Slayer would be the worst thing imaginable.
Yeah. It wouldn't feel like free-to-play at all. Because so many people started out playing free-to-play and doing that for like a year before they convinced their parents to buy membership or whatever. But
Yeah.
I said it wasn't a trial earlier because up until Members was released, free-to-play, what we have today, was the full game. There wasn't an idea when they started the game that we're just making a trial. That's it. Once Members was released, that was the game.
Yeah, of course.
And I hate that they treat it like it is a trial. Oh man.
Well, all in all, from like a company perspective, obviously you're going to target things towards, I want you to pay for my game.
Right.
But I'm happy that they've fought off the idea of microtransactions. I get that bonds are microtransactions, but they've fought it off pretty well, so respects on that, I guess.
Yeah, I think Freckle and I had a conversation about this in the past. Allowing like free-to-play players to like being able to distinguish what kind of person actually is a free-to-play player. I don't think they'll ever do anything like this, but obviously they would have to create some sort of system where they're able to detect whether you've ever used a bond or had membership of any form. And we like come to the conclusion that they do have some sort of system currently in place. Like, didn't we talk about this, Freckled? I feel like we did. Or was this somebody else? Might have been a Kiji. I don't know.
I think we have. I know we've talked about this kind of stuff in the past, to say the very least. So
I wish I could remember what it was, but there was something. There's something that rune metrics. That's what it was. Rune metrics. Like, obviously, that it exists somewhere in their coding, right? So
they could probably do it in an afternoon.
Probably.
One guy that's good at web development could add that to the high scores, and not even display it
in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you don't even have to display it. It just needs to be in the API. A 0 means you've never been a member. A 1 means you're a current member, and a 2 means you've been a member, but you're not currently. And there it is.
And then have it so like people with at least like, I don't know, what's the current members total level requirement for voting? Anybody know?
500?
Yeah, I think it's 500
or 300. Everything sounds right that I'm saying, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
just say things.
When it comes down to like having a thing that tells you if somebody's been pay to play before or if they've logged into a pay to play world, they've already stated that they can see that and they could figure that out. It's just something they don't care to actually put in the game.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it'd be extremely nice for us free to players to know if anybody's been like, not to say that anybody in the top like high scores in free to play has been pay to play, but like we'd at least know absolutely 100% for sure if they were to come out with something like that. I mean, we have pretty good ways of knowing now, but I mean, it would be just better to have it open knowledge to anybody to look up and just be like, oh, I just want to see everybody that's never been pay to play. Here they are.
Yeah, so I agree. That would be a blessing, a godsend. But I honestly think they just need one person to spend like one day, like making their API like half decent. Like if anybody's ever used the high scores API, it is so fucking confusing. Not at all like descriptive. It's just like a string of numbers, and like that's supposed to be what an API is, right? But like there's usually like a JSON string or something describing what the number is. But they keep changing it around too, so like it's even worse. Like it fucked up the entire high scores back in like October when they switched I think the LMS ranking. So like it deleted like 1,000 players from the database because they changed the order of their skills. Like they just need one person to work on that for one day.
Hire on me, everyone.
I feel like it'd be better if they just did like permanent free to play, like they do permanent Iron Man, and you get like a little something that says that you've never been.
It's a really good idea.
What if you have to use a bond to do it?
I would use that bond.
Use the bond to become permanent free to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have to pay like $10 or £10 or something, say like, hey, I've never been free to play. Like, why not? You know? Like,
but then by definition, are you truly free to play? You kind of paid them to play.
You paid them so that they could say, yeah, you're free to play.
Pay to play, free to play.
I still don't know why you can't pay just to change your name.
Yeah, we should have talked about that. Let's talk about that now. What do you guys think about the fact that we can't use a bond to change our names? Like, what's up with that?
I support it. I kind of like the days when people couldn't change their names because everybody just had like a really fucking stupid name and it was funny. So
See,
it's not actually great in current free to play because it just means like half the players are like F2P, UIM, Iron Fox.
Fuck you. Fuck you, dude.
Called out.
I was about to say I don't want this to be a thing at all.
Really?
I know like a lot of people will be like, oh, name changes are so good, I want to change my name, but it's like, okay, the pay-to-play friends that I do have, especially in the
No idea
HLC,
why.
they change their fucking names every other month. So you have no idea who the fuck you're
Same.
talking to.
Hate that.
Don't
Right? So-
don't add Seth to your friends list, by the way.
Oh, I know. No, he changes his name all the time.
It's mainly for like memes as well. It's just, like,
Exactly. So, but it
I
just
don't want to
frustrates
change my
the
name,
hell
by
out
the
of
way.
me. Because it's like you're looking through your friends list and you're wanting to talk to like somebody and you can't find them on your friends list because they changed their name like 6 times, so you can't even track who the hell they are anymore. And it's like, oh man, I just need to put like notes by everybody's name so that when they do actually change, I can like know who the hell they are now. It's awful.
That's the only problem if they double name change.
Yeah, that's true, but a lot of them do now, so. I don't know, I just feel
I've
like.
always been. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just feel like you should just pick a name that you're gonna be known for and stick to it. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just
I
a name in the
personally
game.
wouldn't mind a name change. Mine are pretty stupid. I didn't plan on playing this game seriously, but at the same time, I'm not gonna change them because I don't care that much.
What's wrong with
And
UncleTomas?
I guess on that note, I don't know. I've always had the same stance. I don't really care about name changes, and don't think I will ever make a stance against them specifically for the high scores unless there is a way to programmatically like make it easy for me specifically to see that there's been members. It's just kind of difficult to go on like case by case basis, especially with so many people having exceptions, like even Terrathron himself.
Yes, indeed.
It's pretty unfair, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And like One Orb too, back in the day.
Yeah.
So I don't really care if people use bonds, but as long as they like prove it with achievement diaries and music track or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see if they just never log into a pay-to-play world, that it's not like a big deal. It's just like, I don't know. I don't think they need to really.
Yeah, it's not.
I just think the need for changing your name is just so irrelevant.
I agree too. It could be like if they just released like a bond, but like a lesser version, say like a $2 bond, but specifically only for name changes, or like make it like 2 mil in GE. I think that'd be like.
Yeah. If they want more money and more microtransactions, why not?
All right.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty harmless thing. I think.
Oh my God, what is this? That is inappropriate. Whoever did that. Okay, are we? Did we only answer one question so far from the Twitter?
Yes,
this is gonna be a long podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have.
All right. At Oi asks, what is your favorite free-to-play method and why?
Cutting U's at the
Oh God.
whatever Mazier, the Mad, that freaking
Melzar?
maze. Yeah, Melzar, the Mad maze, and then using an alt to bank the U's.
Wow, that's meta, dude.
My favorite method.
Mine would have to be snow tick manipulation, more specifically with fishing. It is the best method in the game, and all of everybody else's opinion is wrong if it's not that. Alright, go ahead.
I actually think free to play has some shitty fucking methods. I really like the cutty stuff that you do in pay to play for fishing, and I just don't think free to play actually has many good methods. But I
Eerie
think
fishing?
snow is cool. I haven't really tried any of them either. Like, but eerie fishing also sounds cancer because you have to light the fires. So I don't really like that. I like crafting. I like the craft guild crafting.
It's very OG.
EVP World Skull Scepter Lumbee Teleport Body Tiaras.
That was pretty.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. All right.
I kind of agree that like most of the free-to-play methods are like pretty uninteresting, which is kind of the charm of it. Is like, especially for Iron Man, like most of the methods are really fucking basic, which is like fun, especially if it's not like something you're paying a lot of attention to. But like most of the really like interesting methods, I still think I remember is like most of the tick manipulation and that kind of stuff. So I really like area fishing. It's a cool method, and snow fishing is nice too.
I've been enjoying making water tiaras on PvP World.
Body tiaras on
Water
PvP World, though.
tiaras.
Body.
But body.
I just saw you doing last Bargan. That's pretty sick. What's your method?
So I run to the water temple.
Oh, there he's gone.
Join him back. So after I get to the water temple, I use the water talisman on the altar there, and then when I'm done with that inventory, I teleport to Lumbridge and use the bank, and then repeat.
How did you figure that method out, Bargan? That's pretty impressive.
It's about the same rate as Earth's, but like way cheaper. Cause
Yeah. It's
yeah,
Method
way
exposed.
water talismans are just cheaper.
I actually was looking at the the runecrafting wiki. Oh my gosh, old school wiki for
Runecrafting
runecraft training for free to play, and it was sitting there. And I don't know who posted it there, but it was just sitting there, and I was like, wow. No one has talked about this. I've never heard anyone in free to play talk about this method, but it's on the freaking wiki. So
You were saying the rates are like 35k per hour.
That's-
You're
yeah,
a lying sack of
that's
shit.
that's what it said on the wiki, and then I tested it, and I forgot like 2 steps in the process, but it
It's
matched
like-
up.
It's like 27 to 28k, man.
I know. I went back and fixed it on the wiki because it tricked me. All right. I was so embarrassed. I didn't even come into the chat for a week
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I swore up and down it was 35.
Freckle and I were like, we Bargan
tested
is
it.
full of shit. There's no way this is 35k an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, just like looking at the minimap itself, I was like, it's basically the same distance from the Earth altar that it is to the water altar, so they gotta be pretty much the same XP per hour. But, I mean, it's almost half the cost as Earth's, so I don't see why anybody would want to do Earth's. I
Yeah.
don't know what the current prices are right now, but...
Yeah. I'm posting them now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Earths are 260 and water is, well, it's 196, but I banked them at 150. And within the month, they hit a low of 40 each.
Whoa.
So if you take the time to buy them for like, I don't know, 60 each, you can bank it really cheap.
All right. Next question at Smithsonian OSRS asks, what is your opinion on agility potentially becoming free to play? This is not, I mean, I love agility. I absolutely love agility. Don't get me wrong. I have like 500 hours or something like that on my Ultimate Iron Man rooftops. It's a great skill, but the thing is, if it was free to play, then it would be like a 6,000 hour skill, because the best roof we have is Falador, and that's like what, like 25 or 30k an hour.
It's 26 or something.
Yeah, nobody's gonna do that.
Somebody will.
Yeah, I guess my opinion on this, and some people might speak up about this, but in pay-to-play, that skill's used a lot right now to make money, and in free-to-play, we have copious amounts of time to make the money that we need, so we don't need another skill that's thousands upon thousands of hours of where you play alts to make GP on the side. I just think it's irrelevant. What they need to do is they need to fix the fact that agility works in free-to-play to restore run energy, or we just need run energy to be better in free-to-play, but like we really don't need it.
No.
It's just,
Keep
I
it the
don't
way it
think
is.
that a pay-to-play skill coming into free-to-play should have the same benefits that it does on the free-to-play side of the server, because it's kind of even unfair for like PKing, because you will outrun anybody else that does not have that agility. So I think it's kind of broken that it's a mechanic when it's transferred over to free-to-play. So I think they should just get rid of that as a perk of the skill when you go onto a free-to-play server.
Well said.
Yeah, no to agility. It's a member skill. Like, it just is. It's always been members, and it always should be members.
I think it'd be really Pog champion to see it in free to play if it was nerfed, like, or didn't do anything at all. Just because I still think 30k is pretty
so fucking
fast.
stupid.
30k is pretty fast. Like 25k is pretty fast for Iron Man, in my opinion. So I think that's fine as a skill. I think it
Yeah, it's
works.
faster than most Iron Man skills, so
That's true.
Yeah, just kind of like slightly faster than crafting. and-
Yeah, y'all don't get 200 mils though, besides mid-level skill.
Yeah, mid-level. Yeah, mid-level has a nice skill idea. That's perfect.
So I don't want to see any skills added to free to play, but if they insist on adding a pay to play skill, it would have to be agility.
Yeah, I guess I
agree
have
with
to
that.
agree with that.
Yeah.
If they had to move one that's already in the game to free to play, yeah, agility is the one that I would choose.
you don't want to like thieve Ment and then non-thieving.
No.
No, not really. Some guards.
Yeah, I
White
agree with
Warriors.
everything that's been said.
White Knights.
All right. I don't know how to say
Now
this guy's
thieving's
name.
sounding pretty good.
Yeah.
What if ogresses you could thieve from them?
Ooh,
Oh,
and
Lord.
kill them at the same time. You get rune
Damn.
simmies from them. Alright. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Rizdo, maybe? Rizdo asks, which skillers have you idolized the most? It can be past, present, RS2, OSRS, pay-to-play, free-to-play, etc.
Definitely Acid Soul as the number one in general. And then for free to play, definitely Disciple. His like videos and stuff were the reason I was interested in trying free to play Ultimate. And other than that, just like some of the other early game skillers like Vestfold and Lelador, and probably forgetting a lot of people, but yeah.
Because I don't really follow anybody closely like that. I don't really believe in that too much either. But definitely, if you ask who I'm a big fan of, I could say I'm the biggest fan of all my friends here: AutumnElegy, Bargan, Fox, Freckled Kid, Pawz. Special shout out, I guess, to Tanner, Dino, Cold Fingers, Disciple.
Aww.
The biggest fan.
Damn.
I was hoping you're just gonna like keep going.
Shoutouts. Yeah, just start
List
naming
everybody.
off everybody on free
Just
to play
read off the
wiki.
high scores. Yeah.
I would, but I don't know how to read.
Until someone stops you, just keep going.
Server mute him and come back later.
Yeah, move him to another channel and then move him back.
I'm just talking at it. Like Tanner.
Oh god.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Acid Soul back in the day, and King Vino, and that's it, really. I guess, I mean, like back in the day, trance as well, trance music.
Oh yeah.
He was
Yeah.
also crushing natties at the time that I was. So he had a really still one of the best months, RC months ever.
I agree.
Pretty crazy RC month right there. I
The
think
salty
Vestfold also
month.
did a really good fishing month. I remember that. So I think Vestfold's also, although I don't really like him too much as a person. Yeah, but some really good records back in the day.
I guess for me, certain people have kind of like influenced me during certain periods of time. Like I didn't even know people like played efficiently on old school until I saw one of Aubrey's videos, and he was doing like some sort of like alt attacking dart method with black chins or something. And I was like, what? Do people actually do this?
I never used alts for black chins.
It was something weird. It's something to do with darts, something with black chins. I don't even remember. It was a while ago. But anyway, like, yeah, watching like the old Hexes podcast definitely inspired me to go for something big on old school. So, and like for fishing, Trickle and Ging were definitely inspirations with that. With snow fishing.
You follow him on Twitter, dude?
Do I follow? Wait, what?
Do you follow him on Twitter?
Yeah.
On a very interesting Europe trip right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cute boys.
They're going on a world tour for those who are watching that don't know.
World tour.
Yeah, good Twitter content.
Follow Gingbino on Twitter.
Lots of Gingbino pictures.
Go on Twitter.
It's very nice.
I don't really follow anybody, but Free to Play Room Man is the best.
Oh yeah, free to play Rune Man. What a legend. Nobody knows who that is except maybe me and Bargan.
Jeez, inside jokes coming out. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I guess Bargan's done then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was that it? Is that all you had to say? You have nobody to idolize?
Well, other than myself.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay.
Arrogant.
All right. I guess I'll do a little bit of past, then more present, then more present. But I think like the oldest player that's really got me into the like efficient grind would be Zarfot. I don't know if anybody knows who that is anymore, but he was like a pre-EOC player, really efficient player. I had lots of respect for him. He was always doing like really crazy things with like Windows mouse keys to skill, and that was just like out of my head at that time because I was much younger, didn't really play the game efficiently or anything. But that kind of got me in the mindset of wanting to play more efficiently when it came to skilling. More presently, I'd say Aubrey's videos obviously helped a lot of players understand like tick manipulation and things like that, so I gotta give it out to him on that. Great content, and just it got it out to a lot of people.
Thanks.
No problem. Nowadays, there's lots of people in the free-to-play community that I look up to. Obviously, Pawz, Netbook for all of his awesome AFK pulls. No Comfort. I mean, there's just tons of players that I look up to when it comes to the free-to-play community.
Min level.
Yeah, Min's an absolute legend. I don't know, it's maybe like a little bit selfish, but I always forget about Iron Man when I think about this kind of thing, because I'm not an Iron Man, where a lot of the community is Iron Man, so they look directly at Iron Man as their idols, where it's kind of hard when you're a reg to look at that. But then, I guess, like, more recent skillers that I really look up to are like Paizuri, because I just find that his micro is absolutely amazing, and I wish I could click like that man. And he just comes up with like the craziest of methods of like multi-skilling and just finding new and improved ways of doing things that we've already been doing. So I kind of idolize him for that. I don't know if I've got anybody else to say, but yeah, I mean, Anki's a huge idol of mine because of all of the stuff that he's done in free-to-play wiki and all that. So
Too kind.
yeah, I'll pass it on to the next question, I guess.
Well, I also think that people don't think about min levels, 99 crafting and smithing. That's probably one of the biggest achievements ever in free to play
It is,
in
yeah.
old school.
I think
Probably the
about that a
biggest.
lot too. Him and Disciple, like that is so underrated. That's insane how much time they spent on
Yeah.
that.
Min's
Pretty
99
ridiculous.
smithing was about 3,000 hours or so. Which is nuts.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, whenever anybody like brings him up, it's like I don't know why I always forget about him, but it's just like I'm not an Iron Man, so I kind of like forget about all the Iron Man achievements people.
Yeah, he
have done.
doesn't really like talk about himself a lot. He's a really humble guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good dude.
Alright. At Stallmaneer asks, always a fun question, if anything. Or wait, that was... Okay. If anything, what would you like to be added... Okay, that doesn't make sense. What would you like to be added to free-to-play, or what would you remove?
Remove ogresses, but you kind of can at this point, but I don't know. Probably add I think adding agility would be pretty fun. Just nerf that shit though. Maybe, I also think it'd be cool to open up the rest of Felled Up Hills, just to let, like, some early game hunter, like, maybe do that shit for feathers as well. I think that'd be pretty, I've thought about that before, but I don't know how that actually work logistically, but I think that'd be a cool idea, just catching, little fucking birds to 99.
Yeah, no thanks.
You can add the black chins from the wild too.
Well, maybe make chins members, because that'd be too OP for a range.
I don't know, man. Free-to-play has access to wines, and that's like meta, or was meta. You feel me?
I wish.
It's just a dream.
The only thing, honestly, the only thing I think would be appropriate to add is like more resource spots, because like that's an issue, especially with Iron Man. It's not like a huge issue, at least for me, but it would be nice to have like an extra like few spots somewhere where other people could do the same method I'm doing, because like there's literally only 2 spots that people could mine at the same time efficiently. I mean, you could have an ult that is high enough level to attack you for all the other worlds, but PvP world specifically, there's only 2 spots. So, yeah.
If I could add anything, it'd be the Great Orb Project. I loved that minigame. It's just really fun. You had to like coordinate with other players as well, so it kind of put some skill into the game. It was kind of an interesting minigame, to say the very least. But I would probably end up playing it way too much, and it would take away from like all of my gains. So I don't really know if I totally want it or not, but I loved the minigame so much that I really wouldn't care about the gains as much. I just want to play the minigame nonstop.
You know, in general, I think stealing creation would be really cool as well. Add that
I didn't
on
really
there.
play that. I didn't really play that all that much.
I played that a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I did too.
It was kind of fun, but the rewards are fucked up. They would ruin like every single record.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because they had the like XP bonus with the
Yeah.
rewards or whatever. Yeah, right. I remember that now. If I could remove anything.
Speaking of rune crafting, I would love to add talismans, more talismans,
Oh yes.
and probably scepter pieces so that the body altar would be opened up for anybody.
Yeah.
I just think like those are really great skilling methods, and see more of that.
Yeah, I'm always pushing for the scepters to be like tradable or whatever, so that we can acquire them more. So that like methods for RC and just getting around is just better. But yeah, I think the Great Orb Project would be really fun to play. It'd be cool to get like some of the high-level community playing a bunch of games of the Great Orb Project against each other. I think that would be really fun. Because pre-EOC, I used to play that a lot with some of the high-level players back then in the free-to-play community, and a lot of them were really good at the game. I don't know what I'd want to remove. Maybe the more recent quests that they added to free-to-play in old school RuneScape. Like, just get rid of the quests that like they've added since the game's been re-released from 2007. We don't need stupid quests that are novice to understand how the game's to be played out. And it would obviously get rid of ogresses. There you go, guys.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get rid of ogresses because they're terrible content. Well, honestly, ogresses are fine if they just change their drop table. I actually like ogresses, but the drop table is trash. And I don't really think I would add anything, but if I had to choose something, it would probably be slight changes to the scepter so that it's more like, so that it can store more charges if you. What I think would be cool is if they're gonna keep going on with this like free-to-play boss thing, add like a boss to the Stronghold of Security that has some drop that makes it so you can like upgrade the scepter so that it can store like 100 charges or something instead of like 5 or whatever the fuck it does now. So it would actually be useful for like alts. Kind of cool.
Speaking of the scepter, was it the fact that you'd have to get like 200 mils in melee / range at like flesh crawlers to get enough pieces? Was that the statistics, Pawz?
Yeah, it was around there.
For enough for RC, so like it's definitely doable, but it's just like it's a lot. It's just not as accessible as it should be. It's a teleport to an area. Like, it is kind of unfortunate that we have to kill that many to have enough pieces to do that method long term. But yeah.
I would add the scepter change as well, but I would love to see the Ice Giant boss be released, but then have it so either on like the first kill of each boss or like the 10th or some number, drop a piece of a key, and when you combine each part of the key from each boss, you get access to a new dungeon with fire giants in it, minus the rune skin. I think that would be cool.
Ooh. Fire giant boss?
Yeah.
Nice.
Before this question, I actually had a question to bring up, just in regards to like anybody that's played for a really long time, and this kind of is targeted towards Aubrey a bit, but do you feel like when you were like grinding for like high scores in the earlier days of old school that it was more intriguing to play the game than it is now? Anybody can start that off, but
I would say yeah. I guess in the early game there was like just a lot fewer people going for bigger goals. Like things like mining, it was like the first 200 roll mining was actually like relatively early in terms of people getting 200 mils, which is unusual, and it's just because acid is like
A beast.
beast, yes. And then it was 2 more years until anybody else got 200 mil, and then it like blew up another like 2 years after that or something. So the high scores were very slower moving in the beginning because people weren't like just going straight in, whereas like nowadays it seems like there's a lot more good skillers, which is like not necessarily a bad thing, but the high scores are definitely a lot more stagnant now, and that's part of my disinterest in pay to play is like there's not really anything left to do that hasn't already been done. Like there's nothing interesting left because the game has been out long enough to kind of be conquered. That's why free to play is still fun, because nobody's gotten max total on Iron Man yet.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I feel that with like a lot of like my post-max thoughts now. It's like I really want to go for a 200 mil in free-to-play that no one else has achieved. But there's been so many that have been achieved now, so it's kind of limited to what you can really go for, and it's kind of like basically the only ones that like players are really not going to touch in free to play is like rune crafting and prayer. So it's kind of hard to be like
Do it, dude.
to go for those, you know. So
Be the pioneer.
yeah.
It was very interesting back in the day, thinking about how to get into Hexus, for example, like you didn't even really need to be maxed. You only needed like 2,500 HP or something like that, which like wasn't even really maxed back then. And now it's like the people who are in Hexus now are all like maxed with like multiple 200 mils, and just that's just like so I don't know. I just can't play like that where that's what it is now. It's
Yeah,
just
like
weird to me.
multiple 200 mils and max is like a smiley.
Yeah, it's ugh.
But yeah, in regards to what Freckled asked, I was having like the time of my life when I was getting max free play because no one else was doing it, and it was just like this brand new thing for me. Like I'd never like really tried hard on RuneScape before, so that was definitely a lot of fun.
I definitely think when somebody does something, more people will like follow and do that. So that's why I think if somebody maxes on free to play Iron Man, that would just make more people do it.
Yeah. But as long as RC stays like 3,500 hours or whatever, there's not gonna be many.
Yeah, it is getting faster though. All the time.
I guess there's eventually there'll be an update that makes RC like a lot faster for Iron Man, and then there'll be like a huge jump in max Iron Man.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I kind of missed a lot of the like early grind because like I didn't really take the game too seriously until I made this account. So I kind of missed the like rush of like get on the high scores on the top page for certain stuff. So it's kind of unfortunate, I guess, but at the same point, I came into this late and I'm still the 4th reg to max, so I still feel like it's kind of early-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I think that free-to-play still has a long way to go, leaderboard-wise, and I think more players are going to burn out that are in the high-level community of free-to-play, so...
On that note, I'll have to say that competing for HC ranks at the very beginning was one of the most fun experiences I've had. And same thing with the King of the Skill too. I think that was definitely really fun, and I wish they had stuff like that for free to play. These days, like, yeah, it's crazy competition, I think, and that's great. And we're gonna see more people like Eerie and Cold Fingers appear and love it.
I can feel Bargan cringing because he probably still hasn't gotten his rewards for King of the Skill.
Still waiting.
Oh my god.
So yeah, if anybody doesn't know about the King of the Skill, what did you win for, Bargan? Speak about that a little bit and how awesome the rewards were.
Oh yeah? So I won lifetime membership. I won a year of membership on a different account. And then I won physical rewards that were supposed to be sent to my house. But I waited 3 months to see the membership. And as an apology for those 3 months waiting for that membership, they wanted to give me 6 extra months, which I just got 2 weeks ago. And then the physical rewards, I've been told about 5 different times that they've been sent to my house by about 3 different mods, and
they still haven't shown up.
They have not shown up. The most recent was again 2 weeks ago when they said that it was shipping out a week ago. So
how long
It's been
ago
like
was
a year
King
and
of
a
the
half,
Skill?
isn't it?
It's been over a year and a half, just about.
That's incredible. I would like everybody to give a round of applause to Jagex.
Jagex
fuck.
fucks up so much shit though. Like the recent DMM was like so funny. I don't know.
How are they so incompetent they can't even put something in the fucking mail? This is shit that like every single adult in the world does.
It's like, you know, when you put something in the mail and then you like close the lid and then you open the lid again to make sure that it actually went in. They forgot to check that it actually went.
They probably forgot to put
It's
a
just-
friggin' stamp on it.
It's just sitting on the top of the mailbox.
Actually, they did.
Ready to be delivered.
They told me that it was returned because it didn't have my phone number on it. So they got it. They sent it out, but it got returned, and then they asked for my phone number, and then it never got sent out. So I don't know.
Why don't they just get Mod Ash like a car? Come around their ass.
Oh jeez.
That'd be cool.
I don't know what Mod Matt K does there, but I think he could probably spare some time traveling.
Why don't they?
Send off some good old packages to the RuneScape community.
Yeah, I mean, why don't they just get Mon Mac his wife on the motorcycle and deliver things to people?
Jagex delivery service.
That was a good picture.
Yeah, but they might drop max cash while they're at it.
Yeah, Twisted Buzz. Alright, we should probably move on. Last question, guys. At Rome F2P asks, what hobby would you pick up if OSRS would suddenly shut down?
The amount I play right now is like, it would hardly affect my life at all in terms of like how I spend my time. But I guess I would just spend a bit more time fucking around or watching TV or something.
Yeah, I don't really know what I would do. I mean, I would just do my daily life stuff and then probably find some other game to play. It would probably be more of like a casual
Game.
look into a game, kind of like I would just hop around whatever's popular and what like close in real life friends are playing. I'd probably just play those things, and that would probably be about it.
I think I'd start a Minecraft server with Pawz.
Oh, that sounds good.
I'll join.
Oh, I'll be there.
Lil Juan is not invited.
I want to do. Did any of you guys watch RuneShark Minecraft?
I've not.
Nope.
I used to be obsessed with RuneShark. He was like the first RuneScape YouTubers that I was like really into, and I watched their Minecraft videos too. They're fucking good. That was good content. I want to recreate RuneShark Minecraft adventure.
Let's do
What
it.
was that? What was that thing they said before they killed a boss to get the drop?
Badoodle.
The doodle. Oh, that's so dope.
Dude, RuneShark was OG.
I remember RuneShark videos for Skate, but I don't remember their Minecraft series. But
Yeah, they had a separate Minecraft channel.
oh,
Where they
okay.
did like daily videos for a super long time.
Because RuneShark's videos were actually like really good content.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed their content. I feel like anybody that like really put a lot of like effort and editing into their videos really like went somewhere back then.
Yeah, especially since like a lot of people didn't even use their voices or anything back then. They were like some of the first people to really do that.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of commentary back then. It was more like the old school videos of like somebody sitting up somewhere and then like typing out in game what they're going to do for their video. It was awful.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my next progress video on YouTube like that.
Just transcribe
Please
it.
do.
Those old RuneScape music videos. Best.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those are the
yeah, I
best.
remember those too.
Linkin Park.
Oh man.
All of the Linkin Park videos. Jesus. and like Trapped being in every single PKing video. The Headstrong. Or that, yeah. Yeah.
Is it my turn? I don't even remember.
We already decided on that Minecraft server.
Oh, right. Well, other than that, yeah, I already have, like, other hobbies, so, like, I'd probably just do those more than what I currently am doing. So. Or
Yeah,
actually.
I just play
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would just play a lot of League of Legends. I've been playing that as long as I've been playing RuneScape, basically, as long as old school. I just play a lot of League of Legends, dude.
I'd probably go back to it as well. I used to play it a ton.
Damn,
LOL.
rank.
LOL.
rank.
Sorry.
I was D2 at one point.
Dude,
At some server. I don't know. It was. I can't remember what season it was. I think it was probably like 3, 4, maybe.
it's like, what is that, like, Silver 2 US?
What?
Something like that.
What?
Well, you played on NA, right?
Yeah.
The EU server is better than NA.
I don't know anything of the servers right now, so I have not really played in the last couple years. But yeah,
I'd probably pick up more coding, and I don't know. I love old games, so I'd probably play some old ass games, indie games or something. Maybe like StarCraft, Brood War. Or, I don't know. Replay Witcher like 1,000 times.
Nice.
Nice. Hey, I got another question I want to tack on here.
Sure.
I was wondering what random events you guys do or think are worth doing in your mind. I don't think any other than the XP ones are worth doing on a regular.
Yeah.
But I haven't been doing it on my iron recently.
I do the ones where you like click on the thing and it gives you something.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
XP ones.
So
Pretty much
When it
do all of them
comes-
on the Iron Man, except for like the shitty XP fishing or magic one with Bob.
I don't do mazes at Ogresses. I can't be fucked to re-aggro just for some fucking feathers.
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to do the flipper ones
Maze
for
is
the
pretty good,
gems.
man. It gives like 300 chaos or death sometimes.
Chaos or shit.
That is true.
Yeah, see, I think when it comes to randoms, I just do the XP ones, or like the dwarf if I'm like doing melee at the time, because he'll give you a piece of food, so that's nice. But I'm pretty sure it's actually efficient to be doing bob randoms up until like 40 fishing. So if you're on like a brand new account, doing bob events until 40 is actually very efficient, by the way. So don't train fishing until you have gotten 40 from bob events.
And keep your magic below 50 so you don't get magic XP from it.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was an Iron Man, I would do the quiz random for that stale baguette.
Yeah. Beat Tanner
Yeah,
to
if I was
three
grading
skeletons.
them, I would.
I know for UIM, getting those noted gems from the random is pretty useful.
Molly.
When you get the rubies, yeah.
Get that Molly. Okay.
So is that it? We good?
Oh, that's the end of the podcast.
Thank you
That was
guys for
amazing.
watching. Take care.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Goodbye.
That's all of us jerking off.
I hope that got into the end of the podcast.
He's
Alrighty.
gonna edit it.
That was all of us jerking off.
Was this already started, basically?
No. We're not started yet.
This is behind the scenes footage.
Yeah.
This is the unrecorded behind the scenes footage.
We should record this and sell it on Free to Play Wiki.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
All the proceeds should go to water.org.
Yeah.
Why don't they just turn on the tap?
Yo,
Okay.
Tame is asking if you guys want any of his input on anything. You
You
want
wanna
him to
start
just
adding
join?
people to podcasts?
I want his
Yeah.
input on why he's completely burnt.
Yeah.
Who?
I'd add that to the podcast.
Let him know.
Should I play RuneScape while I'm on this podcast?
Who
Um,
isn't already though?
I think that's tradition that you usually to be playing Scape during. But
Guess I should let her out.
I'm pretty sure.
Right, Escape.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Coldfingers just like sat in the lobby during the last podcast.
oh
Didn't
yeah,
log in.
yeah. He was like, "No, I gotta concentrate."
Yeah. He had like
I
prepared
respect that.
answers for everything. It's impressive.
Tame says because he finds no enjoyment in free to play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great feedback.
Sounds
Tame
like a
also
personal
says
problem.
he only found enjoyment in being number one.
When was Tame ever number one?
For like a month. Like when we were all still like under 700 total.
I don't
He
think.
is
Wow.
number one,
I
that's
don't think
right.
that counts.
What a fucking beast.
Number one Iron Man or what?
HC.
Hardcore? Oh.
Like in like November 2016.
Yeah,
Brexit for breakfast.
that shit's fucked, dude.
What are you having for breakfast?
Brexit.
I usually have some cereal or something.
That's offensive, Bargan.
How?
Mr. Weed 1. That's a great name.
That's
Oh,
a
wait.
yes.
I have a really good idea. Bargain, can we get a sea shanty 2 with your instrument again?
Are you
Yes.
recording right now?
Yeah, for the intro.
No, I'm not.
Please. I'm begging you.
Yes.
No,
Let's
That'd
do
be a
it.
good intro.
I haven't practiced, dude.
Come on.
That's
Come
even
on.
fucking better, dude.
It's okay, yeah. Please.
That makes it so much better if you
How
have
about you give me like a minute to figure it out again?
Okay,
Totally not.
take your time.
1, 2.